Well, an elementary school in Washington state started a student club that explicitly excludes white kids. A recently released email from the principal shows that Centennial Elementary School engaged in racial segregation by barring white children from a so-called Black, Indigenous, people of color student group.
Back with us to discuss this and more, Brian Anderson, Simon Conway, Whitley Yates. Whitley, I'm going to start with you. Bob, right before the break, said, can they do that? Looks like they can, and they are.
You know what's really interesting is that when learning about history and in Black History Month, there were so many people who fought to desegregate our schools and to have integrated schools. And here we are in 2023 self-segregating and excluding people from groups. I just think the entire thing is asinine, and I don't think it's the right direction in which we should be leading our children. I understand having affinity groups, but what are affinity groups without allies? And so I think something like this prevents that allyship and prevents accomplices and other people from coming along by making them then feel excluded. So you can't be about inclusion while excluding another group.
Yeah, these BIPOC groups or African-American groups, whatever it is, if they're exclusionary, there seems something wrong with that. Now, if they're attracted people because they want to go, Simon, makes complete sense. They share a lot of things in common. Even if they just say, if you're white, we'd love to have you, and maybe you would appreciate the culture that we're surrounded by or the things that we're interested in, and we can make this inclusive. But to specifically say, all you have to do is replace the word white with any other group, and that would be called racist.
It is racist. I'm going to call it racist right now. And the other thing is, exactly how dark do you have to be? Would Meghan Markle get in? I want
That's
to know.
a really interesting point.
Yeah.
Would she get in? I'm apparently not entirely white. I haven't done the DNA thing, so I don't know exactly, but apparently I'm not. Would I get in? I don't know. I don't think so. Didn't Martin Luther King Jr. wish for a world where his 4 little children would one day live in a nation where they were not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character? Isn't that our dream? Shouldn't that be where we are headed? We are going backwards with this stuff. We are segregating ourselves. The problem for me is the hyphen. Until we get rid of the hyphen, we are in deep, deep trouble. I am not a British American. I am not a Jewish American. I'm an American, and I'm proud of it.
Really well said, Simon. And Brian, Simon also said something that I was thinking. It seems like we're going backwards here. It seems like we're going in reverse as a country.
We live in absurd times. That's the only word I have for it. It's absurd.
Like Seinfeld, it was Bizarro World.
Bizarro World. What part of segregation did you not understand? How young are these teachers? Maybe it's the teacher's fault. But here, let's play their game. Let's self-identify as a Black female, and I'll go to the meeting. You're going to exclude me? That's how I self-identify for the meeting.
Well, that's true. Then that confuses things. Then when you have the trans, I mean, if you have a similar group, I can say, well, I identify as a trans man. I get confused.
Trans race?
Just play their game.
Can you be trans race?
If you want to be.
Right. What if you identify as such?
Yeah.
Somebody was talking. What?
Yeah, Rachel Dolezal, she was born a white woman with blue eyes and decided that she wanted to be Black and decided to change her race and use affirmative action.
That was nicely done. Yeah. You're getting a round of applause from
I saw Simon, yes.
Transracial. The entire thing is asinine. And I wonder if there was a group of just, let's say, straight people that excluded gay people from the group or anybody in the LGBTQIA plus movement, what would happen then? How would people respond? We all know the woke would go crazy and they would cancel the group. They would call them all types of phobics and it would be a big issue. And so why do we not have that same level of outrage when it comes to this?
Yeah. By the way, let's take a look at trans rights protesters occupying the Oklahoma Capitol building, sparking a debate about whether the demonstration is comparable to the January 6th U.S. Capitol insurrection, in quotes, by Trump supporters. Simon, your thoughts on this? It's closer.
Well, it was on the 6th, so should we call it Transury 6th? I don't know.
Oh, nice. See what you did there. Nice.
Check Google, Brian. See if that's used. I mean, look, they occupied a state capitol. Where is the outrage? Where is it? Yeah. I'm waiting.
Yeah, Brian?
And probably 2 people from Oklahoma in the whole crowd, right? Yeah.
That's a really
points.
good
Very
point because
interesting
these are
points.
professionals nowadays.
They are.
That's true. Yeah, hired protesters.
They come with their own bugles and sound horns and everything. They're all ready for this.
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering, Whitley, I keep wondering, is this a phase that's going away soon? We all know pendulums tend to swing, but this doesn't seem to be going away because the fact, for instance, of I as a white person questioning this group in Washington State, they would play the race card on me and say that I'm being racist in questioning that. And nobody wants to do that. So then people are afraid to talk and have these frank discussions because when somebody calls you racist, it's the last thing you want to be called.
Yeah,
Mission
and
accomplished.
I think that in cases like this, you'll be called transphobic. Anytime you question, anytime you have any type of disagreement or you don't agree with maybe their logic, ideology, or how they operate or how they perpetuate their lifestyle upon our children, et cetera, you're called transphobic. I was speaking with another millennial young Black male who said, I have a lot of issues with what's going on, but I'm afraid to speak out because I don't want to be labeled. I'm afraid to be canceled. And so now we have a society where silence is compliance.
There you go.
A lot of people don't agree, but they're afraid to speak out and say, I don't agree with this, or I think we should look at this deeper because they don't want to be canceled or want the retribution of the woke mob coming to attack their jobs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're scared and intimidated into silence.
And we just have a platform here where we're doing it. But even then, they're going to play that card. Brian,
AT&T
I was going to say, wait, hang on a second.
Hey,
hi, DirecTV.
good transition. Brian Anderson, Simon Conway, Whitley Yates, thank you so much for a great couple of segments.